KAKS Podcast Bar now.
Misfits on vinyl for me. Fuck John Cougar!
Hello and welcome to Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Spencer Streichert. I'm an actor, comedian, and one of your tits.
My name is Aaron, and I am here, and we are back.
We are back,
and
baby.
we are in a new space.
We are in a new space. We are in KAKS Podcast Bar.
Downtown Calgary.
Downtown Calgary. Shout out to KAKS. It's honestly a great little venue here. Sean has helped set us up with everything here, which is super nice. So moving forward, I guess we should tell people a little bit of our plan. We're going to be recording here when we have guests. We're going to be recording on our own when it's just the two of us.
Yes.
And then we're going to be doing Zoom when we have interviews that are on Zoom. We'll just do them from our apartments.
Yes.
Because we're cheap.
Yeah. But yeah, we're kind of like we talked about a little bit on our last episode. We're in like a transition period.
Yeah.
We're becoming new men. So this is a part of becoming a new man. We're in a new space. So yeah, it's super exciting. We got nice beers on draft here. Really cool spot. Never been here before, but it's like a little bit of a bar with a podcast studio, and it's a cool little concept.
Yeah, it's honestly like I'm really digging the atmosphere here. I'm digging the staff. I was here right before I left for Halifax. Before I became a Haligonian.
Yes.
Before that, I came here and I headlined the comedy show on the Thursday.
Nice.
And it was so much fun. And then I came in here and did the podcast here with them. So if you want to check that out, it's on the KAKS podcast website.
Fuck yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Spotify.
But yeah,
Amazon Music.
Spencer's been gone now for a couple months, and it's been weird. Like, you know, when a piece of you just goes away.
I know. I feel like that Fleetwood Mac song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rhiannon.
Yeah. Yeah, and we had like a Fleetwood Mac style breakup of our podcast. So, no, just kidding. But it's great to be back. I've been looking forward to seeing Spencer for a long time.
Which is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, I usually don't feel that way. And he's come full mustarded out for us today.
Yeah.
Mustard hat, mustard shirt.
Ooh, I'm a mustard boy.
And we got a special episode today because we're re-recording one of the episodes
Yes,
that we've already written up. So it was a nice chill prep work for the two of us. Just had to listen to the album and reacquaint ourselves.
And honestly, it was great because on the plane ride home yesterday, listened to the album thrice because I fell asleep twice.
Nice.
So, but I know this album like the back of my ass.
Me too.
You know, like I mean, like you've seen the title. We're doing Kid Cudi's "Man on the Moon," End of Day. Mm-hmm. It's a great album. Honestly, a big part of my youth. I'm sure you would say the same. Really shaped how I viewed hip hop. I would say because it made me go, "Oh fuck, you can tell a story with an album." You can have a whole concept album as a hip hop artist, which is crazy.
And I think this is like a lot of people our age, like we talked about this before, but a lot of people our age, this is people that are into hip hop or into, pop music. This is a transitional album for a lot of people that are, in their mid to late 20s. When this came out, this was the fucking shit.
Yeah.
No one had done anything like Cudi did this album. It's different than anything that was out at the time. Even like, compared to other great hip-hop artists who were releasing some of their best work in that time period. It's completely different from Kanye stuff, and Cudi and Kanye are like linked at the hip.
Yeah.
For good and bad.
Good and bad.
But yeah, it's the same sort of thing. He was making something different that hadn't come out, and I can't say Cudi has consistently done that his whole career, but off the hop, he really came out strong.
He came out really strong, and like I was listening to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill a lot while I was on tour, and I was wondering about it. I'm like, I wonder if, like, because that's an almost perfect album. Like and it was so genre bending and decade defining and just like a true powerhouse of an album, and then she just went fucking MIA, completely off the radar. And I've wondered, I'm like, if her second album came out, would it have been like Man on the Moon 2? Would it have been just kind of like a
speeding bullet to heaven?
Speeding bullet to heaven.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. But Cudi certainly, like, we are not reviewing his later stuff. I think he's had some really great albums since this one. But this album is a defining album for a career.
Specifically singles, too.
Yes.
Because I think, like, some of his singles that have came out in the last couple of years have been amazing, and not all of them. There's been quite a few duds, honestly. But for instance, Surfing with Pharrell Williams, I'm like, oh, put that on. I'm ready to fucking go.
Even when he dropped this summer, Porsche Topless.
Yeah.
I sent that to you. Good song. Just like
Good
a
song.
chill summer song. And some of his collabs, like his collab album with Kanye is like in my top 50 albums of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Probably in like the 30 range. A nice, like, crisp, like, 8-track, 9-track album with him and Kanye. It was really great. So.
Yeah, and I wonder where they land on both sides of the Israel-Palestine issue.
Yeah. But before we get into this, we have a little bit I wanted to do with Spencer.
Yeah, I'm excited for
just
this.
to challenge his hip-hop knowledge. So I've curated a list of some real rappers' names.
Okay.
And some fake rappers' names.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you 2 at a time. And I want you to decide which one's the real one.
And which one's the fake one?
Yes. So we'll start out nice and easy for you.
Okay.
We have Yabits, and we have Pooh Shiesty.
I'm going to say, yeah, Beats is real.
No, Pooh Shiesty is real.
No, I'm already going weak.
So now after this, I have 808 Jackets
Okay.
and Cunnilinguists.
Cunnilinguists is real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's too
unfortunately.
good. That's too fucking good of a name. That's too
Okay,
clever.
So I have Funk Yeasel Mathematics and Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Del the Funky Homo Sapien obviously is the
yes,
real one.
yes.
I'm sorry. I know Del the Funky
he's
Homo
actually
Sapien.
quite good. He's quite good.
Mr. Doubleina, Mr. Bob Doubleina.
He's got some Wu-Tang, too. He's got a collab with Wu-Tang as well.
Dude, he's also Ice Cube's cousin.
There you go. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Here's another one. ASAP Childish.
Okay.
And I have Shorty Shitstain.
No, ASAP Childish is real.
No, Shorty Shitstain
no,
is real.
what?
yeah.
Ew.
I got Yeet and Juan Gotti.
There's got to be a rapper named Yeet. There's got to be.
Yeah, you're going with Yeet?
I'm going with Yeet.
Curveball, they're both real.
Oh.
Juan Gotti and Yeet are both real.
Juan Gotti sounds so fake though. Like it sounds like something that that's one of those like name generators, but like
Yes.
not for hip hop. Just like what are 2 names?
Yeah.
That could come up.
Yeah, well, the Teflon Don, he's referencing the Teflon Don John Gotti.
Oh.
Yeah, famous mobster. So
And has a family that has a reality
Yes.
TV show.
Yes.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yes, well, he's definitely fallen. I have Swollen Members.
They're real.
And D-Blood.
Yeah, swollen members are real.
Okay.
I know them because my motorcycle reins have flooded. I'm star-studded. You
Nice.
motherfuckers ain't gonna be able to touch it. Listen, bitch, I'm a tough act to follow. Suck my dick and here's a nutsack to swallow. Wanna get personal, close, and intimate? Listen, kid, here's a mic. I'll get into it. Mental, I'm not sentimental. I'm intricate. It's impossible not to get into it. My intent to vent is not innocent. I'm guilty of being filthy with these menacing ways. It's time to finish the phase. I'm proof that raw adrenaline and energy pays. Oh my!
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Nice. That was quite impressive. They were on a list of the top 25 worst rap names of all time.
Really?
Yep. Next one, I got Big Quote or Havaya Mighty.
Havaya Mighty, I think, is real.
Yeah, she's Canadian. She's
Yeah,
from
really?
Toronto, yep.
Well, fuck yeah. Canadian, eh? Let's go.
Okay, I got Backstar and Dreddy Kruger.
Dreddy Kruger has got to be real.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dreddy Kruger is real.
Dreddy Cougar.
I have Icy Spicy and Apple Diap.
Icy Spicy is real.
No.
Really?
Ice Spice is real. Apple Diap is one of the members of Black Eyed Peas that isn't Fergie or Will.i.am. The other guy's name is Taboo. So there's Taboo and Apple Diap.
I did not realize there was more people than Will.i.am and Fergie.
There you go. Lesson learned. You've learned new things. Okay, I got No Name Gypsy and Slim Legend.
Oh, No Name Gypsy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct. Okay, I got Guru Assassin and Slim Jesus.
Slim Jesus.
Slim Jesus is real. Okay, I got 070 Shake and Batty BB.
Oh. It's not Bad Baby, is it? No, so it's Batty BB?
Yeah, Batty BB.
I'm going to say 070 Shake is real.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct. That's correct. I got Jabba and I got Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba.
Oh, it's also could be pronounced Joba or Joba the Hutt.
Oh. I'm going to go Joba the Hutt then.
No, Joba is real.
God damn it.
Joba is a
And
member.
the second part is what threw me off, you motherfucker. You fucked me.
Sorry about that. And the last one, this one's really difficult.
Okay.
I have Easy Mac versus Easy Bake Mac and Cheese.
I'm going to say they're both real.
No.
Just Easy Mac is
Just
real?
Easy Mac.
Okay.
So these last two I got a little thing for. So Joba's a part of Brockhampton.
Okay.
Just so you know, but Easy Mac, this might take us back to our unreleased Mac Miller episode.
Ooh.
Mac Miller originally went by Easy Mac.
Really?
But he got a cease and desist letter, like got threatened to be sued by this Easy Mac, who's a rapper from Canada, who once played Bermuda Short Stay at UFC.
No fucking
in
way.
2016, my first Bermuda Short Stay.
Wow,
And he
dude.
came out on stage and he was like, "I'm on 4 tabs of acid. Who's fucked up?"
Dude, what the fuck? That's insane.
Yeah, and he's got some collabs with like other known Canadian rappers such as Mercules. So yeah, Easy Mac. He's got a song. It's actually decent called "Tortured Genius."
Tortured genius?
Yeah.
Does he really believe he's a tortured
He
genius?
does, yeah, and he's like walking
Oh.
down like a Calgary alleyway, and there's just like the city of Calgary bins.
Oh no, is he
Yeah.
a Calgary artist?
I think he lives in Vancouver now, but I think he was originally
Oh,
a
no.
Calgary artist. Yeah, and
Bringing
he's
down
got
the Calgary name.
what's the other one too? It's Easy. He's got a good line before Kevin Spacey got Kevin Spacey. He's got a line before all that news came out. He's like, "Pills from Kevin made me feel spacey." Yeah.
Oh.
So he was a predictor of the future, the Nostradamus of Calgary.
Man, he should have been named Future because he could predict the future.
It's another rapper's name. He would have had a cease and desist letter there too.
Well, maybe that's just Farrell thinking.
What I love about the whole future thing is poor Russell Wilson. Man, anytime he plays in an opposing team's arena, they play Future nonstop. Yeah. I don't know if you know about. He was married to Ciara or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And she used to be with Future. So yeah, he's got kids with her, and Future. I think Future's got a kid with her too. Yeah. So anytime
Fuck.
Future has like I don't know how many kids, but anytime he plays in an opposing arena, they let it ride with Future tracks on the loudspeaker.
That makes me sad because I was a big Seattle Seahawks fan and Russell Wilson won us our first Super Bowl. So,
He's cringy.
yeah.
He's super cringy.
Especially, I can say that now that he's not playing for the Seahawks.
Yes.
Super
Super cringy.
I'll double down on that.
Speaking of Denver Broncos, there's an important plug I have to make. Coming up here in Calgary, Alberta, we have an appearance from Tim Tebow. Living is, I can't remember what the quote is, but it's some sort of religious speak note thing. Yeah, and he's gonna be like some church. Is going to be putting on a Tim Tebow show here.
You know what?
locally.
I'm gonna go to that and have him sign his book.
Yeah.
Because I read through my eyes in high school, which was good when he was talking about sports and like sports psychology, and fucking awful when he talked about religion
Yes.
and religious psychology.
Well, you know what I love about Tim
and about
Tebow?
how he didn't want to have sex before he was married.
Yeah, he would have, he was on those Florida Gators teams with, like, Aaron Hernandez and all sorts of other people that got arrested. I watched the documentary on Netflix because we're a sports podcast.
Yeah.
now. I don't know if I told you guys. But it was like they literally brushed over all of the criminal acts that happened during the season that they won the national championship. And they just talked about how hard the coach was and how it was like he had to have a different mentality to be a Florida Gator that year.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So that different mentality included gang murders and murdering your secret gay lover.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's rough.
Yeah.
That's really rough.
But he does a good job of putting his fist on his forehead and
That's-
going down on one knee.
That's true. And that was a meme.
Yeah, it
that
was.
was a meme.
Everybody T-bowed.
We all T-bowed.
Yeah.
We all planked and then we T-bowed.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of football and music, Travis Cleese and Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you
Yes.
feel about that?
I like Travis Kelce. I do, and his brother's even cooler, actually. Yeah, his brother Jason
Is it
Kelce.
Kelsey?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was Kelsey.
Yeah, he
I thought Cleese
he
like
plays
John
for the
Cleese.
Eagles, and he's like a fucking legend. They have a podcast together.
Really?
And it's really good, actually. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're really funny, and there was a an Amazon documentary about Jason Kelce.
Oh, cool.
Very super wholesome type dude. Nice
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Nice guy.
Well, then I'm happy for them.
He's not like Tim Tebow wholesome. He's like normal person wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked when he shit on Aaron Rodgers a few weeks ago.
Yep.
That was good. I
Yep.
liked that.
Yeah, they had a
fucking-
little vaccination argument. Yeah.
Which is so stupid.
Yeah. What did he call him? Mr. Pfizer, right?
Yeah, he called Travis Mr. Pfizer, and then he was like, "Well, I guess it's not a big deal to be called Mr. Right or something." Like he had
I
some
think
fucking
and then he
snapback
called him like
that.
a part of the Johnson & Johnson family or something like that. Just classic stuff. Just classic hilarity.
Fucking, you know what? 10 out of 10 roasts on the football field.
Yeah, but I'm happy for Travis Kelce. I mean, yeah, like
I'm happy for Taylor Swift.
To put Taylor Swift on the map like that, like good
dude.
for him.
Yeah, like honestly, it was nice of him to platform an emerging artist like that.
Do you think if they get married, she would make him sign a prenup? Because he's only worth like 20-something mil, like maybe 30 mil, and she's probably worth $1 billion. She just rolled over the $1 billion mark, so she's worth $1 billion.
I feel like anybody should sign a prenup.
Yeah.
I'm doing a prenup for my wedding.
No, nice, good for you.
We talked about it. We were both like, yeah, let's get a prenup because like, you never know what could fucking happen.
Yeah, and
it is way smarter to get a prenup than to I don't know. It's just stupid to me that that's not a thing. You're entering a legally binding contract.
Yeah,
you should get a prenup. What's mine is mine. What's yours is yours.
I don't think Sarah would want half my shit anyways. Just being honest. Yeah.
That's fair.
You want to have a whole drawer? You want half of my odd socks and my underwear with fucking holes in it? Yeah.
Do you want my PS5? It overheats now.
Yeah. You want my PS5, my PS2, and my PS4? You can have 1.5 of those things.
You had an Xbox 360, not a PS3.
No, I had an Xbox 360. You're right.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah,
I think everybody did.
I think so too. I had a PS2 as well. I just got my PS2 back.
And I had a GameCube too.
My PS2 was taken away from me by my mom when I was a kid.
You never got it back, eh?
I just got it back. No, I left it at her house. I forgot about it.
Nice. Good
now
for
I
you.
have it again.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyways,
All
shall
right.
we?
Shall we? Let's get into this. So every episode we talk about an album, we review the album, we talk about the history of the album. And this week we're doing "Man on the Moon" by Kid Cudi.
By Kidith Cudi.
Kidith of Cudithus.
Of Cleveland, Ohio.
Cudis Olingus. Okay, so this is the debut album by Kid Cudi. It was released on September 15th, 2009 through Dream On, Good, and Universal Motown. It was produced by Kreda, Dot Da Genius, Emil Hayrai, Free School, Jeff Basker, Kanye West, also known as Yee, The Kick Drums, Matt Friedman, Plain Pat, and Rat-a-Tat.
Nice. I like Plain Pat. I think Plain Pat is on that Knife Talk song with Drake and 21 Savage, which is like a killer song. So
that's one of the only good songs on that album.
Yep, that's accurate.
That album, honestly, the last couple of Drake albums have been duds.
Yeah,
they've been bad, dude.
Yeah, I saw a video of. Did you ever see the video? The Barstool guy Caleb or whatever interviewed Drake and had his son on there as well. And they interviewed his son, and like his son's like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years old, like he can't read. And he was like, "Why can't you read? Is it because your dad's a bad dad?"
Whoa!
Drake's like sitting there like,
oh man, oh that's rough.
You think you could read if you had a better dad? And then the kid was like, I already have my better dad.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it was sweet. Too bad he tried to hide him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That poor kid.
Anyways, Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
It was a genre-bending album as it had spacey, atmospheric production that fuses psychedelic, indie pop, rhythm and blues, electronica, and rock styles. The album received positive comparisons in production to West's 2008 album 808s and Heartbreaks. Jeff Giles of Pop Dose stated, "It's basically a slightly more sonically expansive cousin, only Cudi doesn't have to rely on auto-tune shenanigans to get his point across."
Nice.
Which is a very valid point. It's a concept album, and the themes are dark, introspective. There's a lot of talk about depression, anxiety, loneliness. It also touches on family issues, alcoholism, sex, paranoia, and fame. Man on the Moon, The End of the Day is an autobiographical Trek series of moody, dark material that is separated into 5 acts that all surround day and night with an arcane account.
One thing I like about this album is, like, yes, it has serious themes, but also Cudi's, like, pretty tongue-in-cheek in certain moments, and Kanye's, tongue-in-cheek on Make Her Say, but there's certain moments in the album where Cudi's like having fun and being tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, yeah.
And, some of the lines are really, really hilarious.
I got 99 problems, and they all bitches.
Yeah, there's just, there's a line, I can't remember it off the top of my head now, but on Intergalactic, he's talking about her like, navel being, like moist like a toilet.
Yeah, moist like A toilet.
Yeah, it's like okay. I mean, I get the reference. I get the metaphor.
It's towelette.
Yeah, towelette.
Towelette.
Yeah, like, you know, if
The French would say toilet.
Cudi was probably just like eating some saucy wings, and he was cleaning up. He was like, "Oh, that's a bar.
Oh, that's a bar right there.
That's a bar and a half."
Me thinking about my lady with her spicy wings.
Yeah.
Spicy thigh.
Spicy.
Dripping wet thighs.
Nice.
Ooh,
nice.
that was gross. One reviewer summed up the story to be: a lonely guy sits in his room and dreams of success, uses drugs to calm his fears, and then fends off the night terrors. He eventually gets recognized as the star he always knew he was, lives out the life of a superstar, or maybe he's still dreaming about that stage of his life, and we're just witnessing what his dreams sound like.
Nice.
So, progression of the acts is as such. 1, the album's first 2 songs are a 1 and 2 introduction to the rapper and what he is up to. There's a gloomy interior monologue about success, the lack of it, and Cudi's inner conflicts, where he welcomes listeners in by saying that they are in his dreams. Mm-hmm. The following that, there's 3 tracks that are the succession of Man on the Moon, where he is confined in his solitary world. Like in his current state, the music is appropriately obscure. This chapter of the album is the marijuana section. Next is the part where he's on psychedelics, starting with Day and Night, baby. Mm-hmm. This is the album's turning point, where it transitions from a drab theme of loneliness to vitality. Sky Might Fall, which is produced by West, details how he is able to deal with the problems and sometimes continues on his search for happiness. Pursuit of Happiness is in the 4th section. It's a melancholic return to the self-examination of the perspective of a drug addict looking at their next hit. The happiness of the track is fleeting, confined within the limits of each high. It's a glimpse into the search that seemingly will never end. And then the album's closer is Up, Up, and Away, a drug escapist anthem on which he sets his sights on happy thoughts that will allow him to fly like Peter Pan. Mm-hmm. Pretty fucking comprehensive breakdown.
Yes, that was pretty solid. And I would say, like, we talked about, like, listening to this when we were younger, too. As you get older and re-listen to it, some of those themes become way more clear with life experience. Mm-hmm. Like, when this came out, I would have been, like, 11 or 12 years old. So as you grow older, you experience a lot of the things that Cudi talks about. The album takes on a whole new meaning.
Oh, totally.
Like, especially when we started re-listening to this in, like, July and then revisiting it again now, come October, it was a whole other, especially because the winter season is, like, even now, like, we've had, like, 2 weeks or, like, a week and a half of, like, shitty weather, and you already start to feel the seasonal depression creeping up. Yeah.
And I feel like this is a winter album.
Yes.
I will say. Like it although there are elements of it that end up going into a happier, sort of uplifting rebirth sort of idea, I think that the majority of it makes me feel like I'm isolated and fucking it's never ending.
Yeah, it's got this weird thing too, like that swimming pools on Good Kid, Mad City had. It's like a turn-up song, but it's got like a really like deep meaning. Like fucking Pursuit of Happiness is the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it was featured in Project X and all this sort of stuff, and it took a life of its own as like a party song. Same with Swimming Pools, like a drinking song, but the actual lyrics of the song is not about being an alcoholic and problems with alcoholism, but people just drink to it. And I feel similarly with Pursuit of Happiness, Day and Night, same sort of thing. He's talking about he's talking about depression, he's talking about being lonely, and people are just like, it got a life of its own as being like a party song.
Oh, totally.
So there's that also duality in his music as well. If you actually really listen to it, you get the meaning, but you can also just turn up to it as well.
You can turn up to it,
yeah.
and I feel like that was the thing. There was definitely like parts of my youth. I talked about it before when we recorded it, but there was a time when I had a broken femur, and I had to get surgery on my leg to get the rods taken out after,
mm-hmm.
and they gave me a bunch of painkillers, and I was so fucked up when I was writing my final exams. In I think it was grade 10. I was like so fucked up, and I was listening to this album so much, and the one that really fucking hit with me was Intergalactic,
yep.
because right at the start of it, he's like, get ready, pop it, let's go. And I'm just like, and so I'd be fucking popping fucking oxys and codeines on the bus going to school. I'm just like ready to go.
That's a great song too. That's one I forgot about.
Yeah.
Until we had that re-listen the first time around, because I totally forgot about that track. Same with Makers Say, I forgot about that track too. Like I used to bump that shit so hard. and then, come back.
When you use your medulla oblongata, getting the brain in the library like I left college.
Yeah, like coming back to it, you forgot about those tracks that I used to bump super hard.
And speaking of Makers Say, that was a Lady Gaga sample.
Yes, it was a Lady Gaga sample. They flipped that shit hard.
Also, this whole album was narrated by Common, which is fucking insane.
Which is cool. Which we talked about doing a Common album. I would love to do a Common album. I think it's B. That's the album I'd want to do. I think that's what it's called.
I worked with him.
Did you?
Yeah, I was on Hell on Wheels with him.
That's cool.
Not in the same scene, but I saw him on set.
He walked by you.
Yeah, I walked by Common.
Nice.
Our friend Haysom worked with him.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys have something in common.
We have something in common.
With Common.
With Common.
Yeah, I like Common stuff. Whatever that album is 2000. I think it's 2005 album. It was all produced by Kanye, and it's like classic Kanye. Yeah, it's got like Go, and it's got this one Testify on it, but it's all like the high pitched chipmunk vocals with like booming drums, like Kanye's classic like graduation college dropout Kanye stuff. So yeah, like it's like that it was coming off late registration in college dropout right before graduation, so it was like Kanye in his prime, like old school Kanye beat making.
Dude, I love good beat making Kanye.
Yeah.
Unless he's beating on someone.
Yes.
That's...
Which he hasn't done a lot to, but verbally, yes.
Verbally, he beats on a lot of people.
He beats on a wide range. Specifically one group of people.
One group of people.
Yeah.
He really doesn't like them for some reason. I don't know.
But anyways, yeah, there's... that'd be a great album to do at some point in time. Anyways, yeah, cool that Common narrates this. I knew that, but it was deep in my memory bank there.
Yeah, that one was deep in my memory until I read it too. The first track from the album to be released as a single was Single. Signal. Why do I keep saying signal when I read single? I'm actually dyslexic, and it's something that I've been working on.
Scary.
It's kind of scary. But the first track to be released as a single was
Signal.
Day and Night. Fucking don't do that, because I'm going to start doing it again. Day and Night, which was a commercial success. It debuted at number 88 and peaked at number 5 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. There's also guitar on this album by Alan White. White has co-written and performed for all of Morrissey's albums, issued between 92 and 2009. Little Yachty's Bring It Back, and Teenage Emotions.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the About the Artist.
Scott Mescudi.
Scott Mescudi, born January 30th, 1984, in Cleveland, Ohio. He grew up in Shaker Heights and Solon. He has 2 older brothers, Domingo and Dean, and an older sister, Maisha. His mother, Elsie, is a school choir teacher, and his father was a house painter, substitute teacher, and World War II Air Force veteran. Now, what's really crazy about this is when he was 11, his father died of cancer, and his passing had a significant impact on Cudi's music.
Well, we were talking about this before, too, about how old his father would have been when he was born. So, like, if he fought in World War II, like, his father had to have been born, like, in the late 1920s at the earliest,
At the earliest.
Yeah, so...
He was old as fuck.
Yeah, so he would have been, like, probably had Cudi, like, and he was in his, like... late 40s or early 50s. I think we pegged it down to like 56.
Yeah, it was 56, I think.
56 when he had
Which
Kid
is
Cudi.
Impressive, because as a sperm, he had to swim through so many wrinkles just to get born, man. Just to get fucking born. Cudi attended Shaker Heights High School for 2 years before transitioning to Solon High School, and he was expelled from school for threatening to punch the principal, but later earned his GED. I just find that line really funny. Both times that I've read it, I've laughed.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is funny.
It's funny just
I'm gonna punch you, bro.
I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you. In the face, man. You're the principal. Now you're on the ground.
Yeah, it's like that's probably like the thing you probably shouldn't threaten to do to your principal. Like one of like probably 50 things you probably shouldn't threaten your principal at all.
Probably not. I feel like generally threatening people
but
doesn't
like,
work out.
Especially like someone in a position of power.
Position of power, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably,
I'd avoid that.
Yeah, I'd
I'd avoid
do that personally. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, so he studied film at the University of Toledo, but dropped out after a year. His subsequent plan to join the Navy did not pan out because of his juvenile police record. Probably a good thing.
Yeah. I would say so.
Now we got dope music. He first began rapping in 2003. I was 8. Towards the end of his time in high school, and was inspired by alternative hip hop groups such as Farside, and A Tribe Called Quest. Fuck.
Nice.
I had to do it 3 times.
We will do a Tribe at some point, too.
We will.
I'm a big fan.
I love A Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, me too.
He later moved to New York City to pursue a music career. After leaving Cleveland in 2005 with $500 in a demo tape, he moved in with his uncle, an accomplished jazz drummer, Cal Maddie, in the South Bronx, and he worked at a couple of Manhattan clothing stores before eventually sharing an apartment with friend and collaborator Dot DeGenius in Brooklyn.
So he used to work at the Bape store. The Bathing Ape is we talked about this too, but the Bathing Ape is a Japanese clothing brand, and he had a run-in with Kanye West when he was working at the Bape store. So Kanye came in and bought a bunch of stuff. Bape was like, they're still fairly popular, but they were really popular in the mid-2000s. But anyways, Kanye was buying their clothes at the store, and Cudi forgot to take off a security tag on his clothes. So Kanye, when he walked out, he beeped off, and Cudi had to chase him down to... Yeah, so that happened, which would be like something I would do if like a celebrity came in, like when I worked at like H&M.
Yeah.
If a celebrity came in when I worked at H&M, I would probably fuck it up like that too.
Oh, 100%. Not intentionally either, just like fuck it up because
Yeah, you were just nervous.
you're just nervous.
Yeah, so that's a cool little, like I think they met twice actually before they actually ended up collaborating on this album and collaborating in the future.
Shit.
But they had a couple run-ins. I think Cudi was working at a different store as well, and they had a similar thing, but he took the security tag off this time.
That's really crazy.
But yeah, the Bape thing is a cool story, a cool little, like, yeah, it's sort of when he first moved to New York, he was working at a Bathing Ape, and Kanye came in and he fucked it up, and yeah, Kanye was probably like, who's this fucking idiot? Like,
Dude, the other thing that I think is really crazy about this, and this is just like a side note, but he was in Brooklyn starting to make music around the same time that A Great Big Pile of Leaves were in
Interesting,
Brooklyn
yeah.
starting to make music. So I don't know. It's two of my.
It's cool too.
influence.
Now I can envision some of the places that they were living because we never went up to the South Bronx, but I went to Brooklyn, so I kind of got a rough idea of the vibe like living there. It's probably a pretty interesting place to live and make music.
Brooklyn Heights, Beluga Heights.
But yeah, that's cool, man. A cool story.
That is a really cool one. All right, in 2007, Kid Cudi's song Day and Night began getting featured on several music blogs after having initially been uploaded to MySpace. This early work caught the attention of Kanye West with his then manager, Plain Pat, subsequently leading West to sign Cudi to Good Music later that year. And then in July 2008, he released his first mixtape, A Kid Named Cudi, which was executive produced by Plain Pat and Emil Haney, in collaboration with the New York streetwear brand 10 Deep as a free download.
Nice.
Then Kanye first called upon Cudi to reference hooks for his and Jay-Z's album. Reference hooks. On Jay-Z for the Blueprint 3. So not both of them, but
No,
you know what I mean.
Just
Jay-Z.
because Kanye was probably producing.
Producing it.
Yeah.
And then also to Kanye's 808s and Heartbreaks. Assistance on the latter includes co-writing credits or vocals on Heartless, Welcome to Heartbreak, Paranoid, and RoboCop.
Which are some of the best songs
Those
on
are
that
some
album.
of the best ones, for
Welcome
sure.
to Heartbreak is an amazing track.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, so Welcome to Heartbreak charted as an album cut and peaked at number 87 on the Pop 100. Cudi's first television appearance was at the 2008 Music Video Awards alongside Travis Barker and DJ AM. Cudi was promoted as an artist to watch for the media such as Rolling Stone, Vibe, The Source, XXL, BBC's News 2009 Sounds of Poll, and MTV News reported on Cudi on a series of reports entitled MCs to Watch in 2009.
Nice.
Fucking nailed it. All right, then he released Man on the Moon, End of the Day. During the summer of 2009, he was joined by fellow up-and-coming rappers Asher Roth and B.O.B. for the Great Hangover concert tour. Fucking
Forgot about Asher Roth.
you know what? And B.O.B.
I love college.
Hey, and I love drinking. Hey, I love women. Hey, I love college.
B.O.B., the flat earther.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are shooting stars? You can if you think the earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
If you fly to Antarctica, you'll go over the edge. Because that's because the earth is flat. The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Yo, let me tell you a story about how Earth is like a piece of paper if you turn it upside down.
Dude, he's so insane. I can't
Yeah.
believe that he's a person.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't... You know what's funny is, like, I had forgot about B.O.B. because he was just a couple of features. It wasn't even like his songs were,
He
like...
had a couple of big songs at the time, but yeah, he kind of fell off too. But there's a couple weird celebrities that are flat earthers, like fucking Kyrie Irving's a flat earther basketball player, and he like went to Duke. Only for a year, but you think you would learn that the earth is round if you went to Duke for a year.
Dude, well, I mean, isn't Duke in Kentucky?
No, it's in Carolina. North or South Carolina.
I don't know if that's better.
You play basketball, boy. That's what you do.
That's what you do, man.
Earth is flat, ball is round, I don't care.
Ball is round, earth flat.
You get the ball in the hoop, it doesn't matter to me.
Didn't Kyrie Irving, was he also the, he took a page out of Kanye's book and went all fucking anti-Sem?
Yeah, he's something believes that in something. That's not correct.
Man,
I don't know exactly what the details was, but he promoted some sort of book or movie that was really inaccurate. And he also will play basketball for a couple games and then just disappear and not play basketball for a couple more games and come back.
You know, I'm really thankful that I don't have a strong enough opinion of anything to be wrong. You know,
Yeah.
I just have nothing to stand
The art
behind.
of not giving a fuck.
The art of not giving a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, in late 2009, he announced that his follow-up to his debut album would be a compilation album entitled Cutter and the Revolution of Evolution, which would have many collaborations. He stated he had already recorded songs with Snoop Dogg, Travis Barker, Clips, Cage, and Pharrell, and would like to work with Drake, Green Day, Kings of Leon, Robin Thicke, The Killers, and the Postal Service on the album.
An eclectic group of musicians.
It's quite the group. I was surprised there wasn't Willie Nelson in there, Dolly Parton. Let's just throw everyone that you could possibly... Alanis Morissette. Let's go.
Chet Baker.
Chet Baker.
Maybe not.
Well, I mean, okay, here's the thing. Drake did that song with MJ.
Yeah.
Where he used the fucking demos. I'm sure there's some Chet Baker demos out there.
You could probably do it. Yeah.
Probably do it. Probably do a demo with Chet Baker.
There you
a
go.
collab.
Yeah, there we go.
What's the two dead artists you'd like to see collaborate?
Two dead artists I'd like to see collaborate. Interesting. I don't know. You kind of put me on the spot with that one. I'd have to really think about it. For some reason, I'm thinking Leonard Cohen, but I don't know who I'd want him to collaborate with. Old Dirty Bastard.
That would actually be pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that one. That's a good question.
Shimmy, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yo, hallelujah.
That's a really good question.
I'll take away the mic and I'll kick you in the balls.
The booyah.
I had nothing.
I don't
dude.
know. I'd have to really. That's a difficult question to answer on the spot. I'd have to really put my mind to it. I don't know. I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Come back to it.
I feel like for me it would be Michael Jackson and Kanye West.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. That's it. But Kanye's still alive.
Well, he's dead to me.
I was like, that doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. I'd have to really think about it. That's a good question, though. That's something I might have to revisit. I'm trying to think who's died.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
More people than are on Earth currently have died.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe someone with Bowie, too. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, oh, shit, yeah. Bowie would... Prince would be fucking dope with someone.
Yeah.
Prince would be dope. Fuck. I don't know. Prince and The Weeknd would be a pretty cool collab.
Interesting, yeah.
If you were going dead and alive, Prince and The Weeknd would be
someone
a cool collab.
with, John Cougar Mellencamp or Tom Petty.
Yeah.
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 The Heartland Rock.
fucking-
John Cougar Mellencamp, I'm assuming, is still alive.
I think he is.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's still touring and selling out stadiums.
Nice.
I
Good.
think
Good to know.
he's still at that stage. Okay, so the lead single from his second album, entitled Erase Me, features Kanye West and was produced by Jim Johnson. Song debuted on Cleveland radio on June 30th, 2010, and was officially released to Rhythm Crossover Radio on August 17th. Then the title track, Mr. Rager, was released as the album's second single shortly before the album's release. Album released on November 9th, 2010, debuted at number 3 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart. First sale week of 169,000 copies. Second week, it crossed 200,000 units sold.
Marvin Gaye and Whitney Houston. That's my answer.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's my answer.
That's a good one.
That's my answer.
I like that answer. I like a good Marvin and Whitney. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, Whitney would be good with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, man, I don't know. You know what? Adele and Amy Winehouse.
That would be good.
That would be good. Okay, so I'm just going to flip ahead here.
Yeah, jump ahead.
So in October 23rd, 2018, in response to a fan on Twitter, Cudi revealed that he had began working on his 7th studio album, although he said he would be taking his time to create his forthcoming LP. He projected a 2019 release. Then he released it. It was titled Intergalactic, which he revealed would be the soundtrack to an upcoming Netflix adult-focused animated music series co-created by himself and Kenya Barris. And then on April 24th, 2020, 2020, Cudi released a collaboration with Travis Scott called The Scotts.
Yep.
That one debuted atop the Billboard Hot 100 chart. And then his daughter announced via social media that he would be releasing a song with multiple Grammy-winning artist Eminem titled The Adventures of Moon Man and Slim Shady. It's a pretty weak song.
Yep.
I didn't like either of their work on it.
I'm not crazy about it either.
I'm not crazy about anything Eminem does nowadays, but I read somewhere that I think it was Dr. Dre said, Eminem's already proven himself, so he just had he can just show up. He's Eminem. Who gives a fuck?
He's got a really good track with Joyner Lucas called "Lucky You" from 4 or 5 years ago, I think. That's a good song.
That one's a good one.
Other than that, I haven't heard.
Marshall Mathers LP2 was the last good album that he had.
I haven't heard a lot from Eminem lately that really impresses me.
Yeah. I feel like Marshall Mathers LP2, there was some really good samples on there. That was the one with Rap God.
It was good when he murdered MGK.
Oh, that was killer.
Yeah,
fuck me. That was
he still got it, but
and that was the thing too. He did that within 24 hours.
Yeah.
He just fucking writes it, records it, and it's 10 times better.
But then he follows it up with "That's an awfully hot coffee pot." Have you ever seen that video?
No.
They had him freestyling in a parking garage for the BET Awards, and he opens it with "That's an awfully hot coffee pot."
Oh god.
It's what a play on words.
E-mine and why you got to do this to us.
Yep.
All right, so Man on the Moon 3, The Chosen, was released on, where is it here?
2020.
Yeah, it was in 2020. And it debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, earning 144,000 sales.
I dug the album. I like that album.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's not bad. It's just not, it's I feel like there needed to be 1, 2, and 3 a little bit closer together.
Yes.
I feel like there could have been a more cohesive storyline in 2. And I felt like 3, he was trying to make up for the shit that was weak in 2.
Yep.
Because 2 had some great singles, but and I will say 3 doesn't have any standout singles.
No, definitely not. You're right about that. That's what I was about to say too. That there was nothing that stands out track wise.
Yeah.
As a whole, it's a good piece of music, but there's no individual.
It's a nice
shining
piece of
star.
art.
Yeah, no shining singles or tracks that you would hear like you did on this album.
Yeah.
Where some of the singles took over.
And were just culturally significant.
Yes.
All right. So notable tracks and singles on this album. We got Pursuit of Happiness.
Yep.
We got Day and Night.
Yep.
We got Make or Say. Mm-hmm. We got Solo Dolo. Mm-hmm. We got Intergalactic. Mm-hmm. We got Up, Up, and Away. Mm-hmm. We got Sky Won't Fall.
Mm-hmm. I would also put Soundtrack to My Life.
I would put Soundtrack to My Life on there as well.
That's a good song as well. Higher's okay.
Yeah.
Not crazy about that track, but.
Yeah, it's not. Again, it's one of those things where I feel like it works with the album, but it doesn't work on its own.
I do say stand out the ones that obviously Pursuit of Happiness, Day and Night.
Yeah,
those are the 2 big standouts. Make or Say is another big standout track, but
Up and Away is another good one.
Intergalactic is probably my favorite song on the album. The more that we've re-listened to it too, I think that's up there for me. Super catchy. It's an earworm.
It's an earworm.
Yeah.
It's an earworm. Funny enough, in the show that I was just doing, I did there was a bit where I sing a song. The guy that's with me says catchy. I go earworm, and then I pulled out a gummy worm and we fucking ripped it apart and ate it.
Nice.
It was fucking great.
Nice.
Shout out to Pewaukee. All right. So reception. Boston Globe praised the experimental quality of the album, and it's spacey, adventurous, and ridiculously intriguing, if only because it's so different. And at the time, it was very different.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a phase for a while after that where a lot of people tried shit like this. Didn't work out. Didn't sound the same, but they tried it.
But it influenced hip-hop later
Yeah.
on, the same way we talked about 808s influencing, like, Travis Scott. This album also influenced some of the, like, post-2016, popular hip-hop sounds. This, like, psychedelic trap, all that sort of thing.
I would say Mac Miller's last two albums heavily influenced by this,
like
very obviously.
Experimenting in hip-hop. Not that it was, created by Kanye and Cudi, but it was certainly pioneered by them in this time frame in hip-hop history. So, like, from, 2008 on to, 2012, 2013, they were releasing experimental albums. Even like when we make fun of Speeding Bullet to Heaven, but Cudi trying to combine rock and hip hop. It didn't work out the greatest for him, but it was he took a shot on something that's not that, other people have tried. Like Lil Yachty just released an album where it's a combination of rock, psych rock, and hip hop, and so it's still influencing people today.
And you know what? He took a shot on it in a way that worked out a lot better than when MGK did.
Yes, it's true.
All right, Rolling Stone gave it 3 out of 5. Pitchfork gave it 4.1 out of 10. Out of 10,
they really love it.
All Music gave it 4 out of 5. AV Club gave it a B. Metacritic is 71 out of 100, and Any Decent Music, it's 6.5 out of 10.
Mixed.
Very mixed.
Reviews, yeah. I think the album's aged properly.
I think so too.
Maybe at the time it wasn't as well received because it wasn't,
It wasn't what was hip hop at the time.
It wasn't like Flo Rida and the Black Eyed Peas.
And realistically, like, we're going into, like, we've talked about it before, but that like late 2000s was, I would say, probably the worst time in a lot of music.
Yes.
There's a few years there where, with hip-hop, you're transitioning away from, like, 50 Cent, The Game, Eminem, into this, like, weird shit, like you said, Flo Rida, T-Pain, you know? There's, like...
That was getting the big radio play, the Black Eyed Peas, like, when they took that weird pop turn.
Yeah.
That was, like, at the time, you think about it, that's, like, the boom, boom, pow.
Yeah.
Bullshit era is that time period. I Got a Feeling is that time period.
It's so...
Meet Me Halfway. And everything had a dubstep beat. Like, we've talked about this, I don't know how many times. But this section of music, like, even, 808s and Heartbreaks, Heartless got some radio play, but a lot of the music on that didn't get any radio play. A lot of music on this album didn't get radio play. But that doesn't mean it's not, it wasn't making waves in different ways, right?
Yeah,
so.
I think that for true, like, hip-hop fans back in the day, this was something that they were interested in. And that's, I think, again, why, like, Rolling Stone is, weak on it. The people there don't really know what the fuck is coming.
We've had with that too.
Yeah, like they when they hear something that's different and bucks the system, they just generally write it off. All right, so Ian Cohen of Pitchfork gave the album a negative review, finding it frustrating that the album felt like a failed opportunity rather than a non-starter. He further wrote that Cudi largely smears his verse with a flat warble that is salvaged by autotune, which he remarked would be numbing enough on its own had it not been for the frequent, terrifyingly underwritten lyrics to jolt you into the sharp pangs of embarrassment. Nice. Which is a weird thing to say, because I think that his lyrics, I would rate lyrically, he's got some really fucking strong lyrics on this album.
I would say I can see a little bit of the perspective. Like, some of his lyrics are not the strongest. Like, we brought up the toilet.
Yeah.
But they don't have to be strong in those senses. It's an overarching. The way he expresses an overarching theme, I think, is where his lyrics get stronger.
I agree, and I think that if you're looking at the whole the thing as a whole,
yes,
that's where it makes a huge difference.
Yes. Individually, I'm sure there's, like any album, especially when it comes to hip hop, it's how many lyrics are on a hip hop album compared to, like, a rock album.
Yeah,
the difference is, it's huge. So you're going to end up with lines that are not as quality as other lines, You
might hit a dud or two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So it was number 4 on the U.S. Billboard 200, number 11 in Canada, 15 in the UK R&B charts. In 2022, it went back up to 90, it charted in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2020, and 2021. Nice. It was 4 times platinum in the U.S., silver in the UK, And Man on the Moon, the End of Day was named Entertainment Weekly's Best Hip Hop Album of 2009 and called one of the year's best debut albums. Due to his key track, Day and Night, he was also one of the 5 breakout stars of the year. 2 singles from this album were nominated for awards at the 2010 Grammys, Day and Night and Make Her Say. And in 2020, Rolling Stone ranked it at 459 on their 500 greatest albums of all time.
Oh, so it's almost like they rated a 4.1 and then they rank it 459.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're hypocrites.
It's almost like they can't fucking see the full picture.
Yeah, it's almost like they're hypocrites.
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 You make her say,
Oh.
oh, oh, oh.
Oh.
When I
Rate the album 4.1 out of fucking 10. Anyways, let's rate this.
All right,
fucking
let's
thing.
rate this fucking
Let's
thing.
do it. It's great to be back. I'm excited. It's our first rating in a
It's
while.
our first
Let's
rating
do
in
it.
a while. Let's go. Okay, every week we rate the album on technical, musical, lyrics, album art, reception, and
Hell
does
yeah.
it hold up? I'm going to say technical right off the bat. Let's go a little high on this because you've got so many producers on this that are working with something that was genre defining and really genre bending. I'm going to go high on this. I'm going to say an 8.5 out of 10.
I'm going to go at an 8.
You're going in an 8?
Yep.
All right, so we're at an 8.25. Musically, there's a lot about this album that I love, and there's some things that, well, they may not hold up. I can appreciate the risk that was taken with them.
That's fair.
I would probably go with a 7.5.
Okay, I was weirdly enough feeling the same thing. I think certain aspects of it, we talked about it aging well as a whole, but there's certain parts of it that haven't. I think some of the beat making and certain songs haven't aged as well. It feels of its time a little bit. So I think 7.5 is a very fair rating.
Yeah, I would agree. Lyrically, we just talked about this, but I think like if you're looking at it as a whole and like the story that it tells, you got to go high, but then you can point out those silly little fucking things that are just
just even
quirky.
the balls to talk about mental health in like the mid 2000s in hip hop, which is, you know, at the time was like, it was
very toxic
not so
masculinity.
much in the bling bling era, but it was still, you know, braggadocious in content. You weren't really talking about, there wasn't a lot of talking about you know, stuff in extreme depth. So just to have the balls to do that on a debut, you know, full album, it's impressive. So
it's impressive.
I think I'm gonna go an 8 on it. I think 8 is where I'm coming in on it.
I'm gonna go an 8.25 on this. So we're sitting at an 8 right now. Album art. This album art is fucking cool.
Great album art.
It's so cool. I would go probably an 8.5 on the album art because it is like, it's one of those albums from the 2000s that you can look at and go, oh fuck, I know it, you know.
I think I'm gonna come in at an 8.
At an 8.
Yeah, I think it's recognizable. I think you're right. It's something you can come back and be like, yeah, I recognize the album. Yeah, I think an 8 is where I'm at with it. So.
All right, now reception. This is a weird one because
we have to go mid on it, right? Yeah, because it's we've encountered this before. Too,
commercially, commercially a success.
And over time, it's grown a bigger audience and more of appreciation for it. But at the time, it wasn't, you know, received critically as well as it would be nowadays.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of got to go at like a 5 or a 6. I think a 6 is kind of where I'd have to be on it.
I would go with a 7 only because I feel like if you're comparing those 3 things, it does knock out 2 of them. It's just the critical one is so fucking low.
Maybe I'll go 6.5.
6.5. All right, so we're at a 7.75 now. Does this hold up?
Yes,
I would say it holds up as well. All right, I think that's pretty fucking good.
7.75. That's a good rating. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be back. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be here with you, my dude. I want to say first off, we're going to be recording a lot more frequently now. We're actually going to be releasing weekly again.
We're back to our schedule.
We're back to our schedule, and then on top of that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening over the past year. We crossed our 1-year anniversary, and we are in for consideration at the Canadian Podcast Awards right now. To even be considered is incredible.
Yep.
That means a lot, and that wouldn't be possible without everybody that listens and shares and everything. So please keep doing that. Give us a good rating.
We appreciate it. I mean, we as much as, you know, we bullshit and fuck around. We do work hard on this.
We do work hard
from time to time. So it's I know I always appreciate when people reach out to us and send us messages. It certainly warms my heart. And,
Oh, it warms the cockles
yeah,
off them.
yeah. So I appreciate everybody listening. I'm excited to start this new chapter and get rocking and rolling. We got tons of more content coming out here in the next month. I mean, we got so many things to do, and we're going to be exploring new spaces, trying new stuff. Just, getting back to our bread and butter, which is doing a podcast.
Hell yeah, brother.
So-
All right, well, let's fucking do it. That was Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon. We're back, baby. Anal contusions.
Bow, bow, bow.